Have you ever wondered how it feels to shit on your own goose that lays the golden eggs? Well, that is what Capcom did back in the day.
Resident Evil.
In 2016, Capcom released Resident Evil Umbrella Corps, a third-person shooter with the worst camera angle I've ever seen on a video game. At the time, it didn't even get much publicity and it came out without much fanfare, but it makes sense after playing for a while. I can tell why Capcom didn't want us to know that this spin-off was a thing. For those of you who aren't familiar with the title, we're talking about a third-person action game focused primarily on multiplayer. It takes the Resident Evil setting as its starting point, taking us to some of the series' iconic locations and infesting the levels we fight in with zombies. Considering this is a spin-off, the proposal might even be attractive, if only for the simple fact of being able to control our favorite characters and shoot them in the series' most iconic locations. Not to mention all the possibilities the saga's own theme offers for creating something original and interesting. In other words, what Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City would be like, but done right. However, we won't even need to finish the brief and boring tutorial it includes to realize that Umbrella Corps is a disaster in each and every one of its sections, resulting in a broken, chaotic, poorly balanced game with a terrible design, with graphics that make us doubt whether we are looking at a pre-alpha of what the final version should be, and ultimately bad. The feeling of firing a weapon is terrible, and it conveys all sorts of sensations except that of actually shooting or holding something heavy. Add to this the terrible hit detection and the poor response from our enemies when we hit them, and you can get a good idea of how unsatisfying shooting and killing opponents can be. Another flaw that I don't understand that no one at Capcom has been able to see is how close the camera is to the character. It's always positioned behind us and so close that it blocks out a large portion of the screen, preventing us from following the action. If you want to have some fun alone, your only option will be to play The Experiment, a mode consisting of 20 missions in which we will have to perform basic and repetitive tasks on multiplayer maps while we face the typical Resident Evil creatures. Getting into what is supposedly the main attraction of the title and its raison d'etre, its multiplayer, it only has 2 different modes that pit 2 teams of 3 players against each other, one life and multi-mission. The former pits us against each other in different rounds where our sole objective is to take down all members of the opposing side without the option of resurrecting, while the latter offers several rounds with several different objectives in each round and infinite resurrections. Oh, but just so you know, the multiplayer is absolutely dead. As you can see, the range of modes is extremely limited, and neither is particularly satisfying or fun. So basically, it's a good game if your objective is to lose all your brain cells and collapse somewhere on the floor. I hope you enjoyed the video because I absolutely did not enjoy the game. See you soon, random internet brother.